with another one. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to I Like to Think I'm Interesting with Me. We have a guest today. Hello.
Hello, hello.
It's Marcus. It's my roommate, Marcus. Hello, everyone. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Hello, Internet?
Yes, exactly. The internet. Most likely, friends and family.
The 9 people I talk to regularly.
Exactly. That's generally our audience, but it's
It's fun to be on. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been talking about you being on for a long time.
Well, since what, your second podcast?
Yes, since our second
Which
podcast.
was what, January?
Yes. And you've been a big encourager of this, and so I've been wanting to bring you on. You're now my second guest.
Woo!
Woo! Yay! So, let's get into the content, kind of. I don't know.
Content.
The content.
I'm content.
This. Are you content?
I am content.
That's good. I'm glad.
Mm.
Well, Marcus is my roommate, and we met in college at the
Yes.
same college, which we're not saying
Okay.
on the podcast.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We met in a film class,
Mm-hmm.
which was all over the place
Mm-hmm.
at every moment of every day.
Every moment.
And I learned some things,
Mm-hmm.
but not as much as I think I should have, which describes most classes I've taken. So,
And you're right about that.
and by far the most valuable thing I got out of that class was a roommate. So,
Yeah.
So.
Same here. We fist pounded. You didn't see, but we did. And we've been roommates for 3 years.
It'll be 3 years in September. Yeah.
Should we have an anniversary?
No.
We'll be like, it's our 3-year anniversry. It's cute.
Yeah, as roommates, not as lovers.
Yes, but what's the difference?
Oh boy.
I know. We let's see. We were gonna come on this to talk about D&D, because that's also something that we
share.
share.
Yeah.
We share that. Marcus invited me to his D&D campaign when we first became friends, because he found out that I play D&D.
And you played for a good 30 sessions before life got in the way of that.
Oh yeah.
Which was great, and you had some really fun characters.
Oh.
I loved your second character.
Thank you.
Twig.
Twig was crazy. Oh my god. He was
He was a little guy.
a little guy, and he was like, did I use he, they? Probably.
No, we knew, yes.
Yes, I definitely did.
He was a tabaxi divination wizard.
Yeah.
Who was also just a child.
Yeah, that was
a teenage child who was discovering the world. I think you were just playing yourself.
I was. Well, because I am still I don't know nearly as much about D&D as you do. I feel like, because you've been playing it for how many years?
That's probably a good thing. I've been playing D&D since I was a sophomore in high school, and that was. Jesus, was that 10 years ago now?
Oh my god.
11 years ago? 10, 11 years now? So, a long time.
And you've read, all of these D&D books, cover to cover.
I have $400 worth of 5 ebooks, if you look at it that way. And I watched all of Campaign 2 Critical Role, and I've watched other Critical Role YouTube, or D&D YouTube series. And I have DM'd an entire 30 session campaign, and my second campaign's we just did session 42.
Mm-hmm.
So, lots of D&D, lots and lots of D&D. And, I've started to write and make little module things and put them on Patreon. Go buy my stuff.
Oh yes, go buy his stuff. I'm gonna link in the description. Marcus is a very smart and good home brewer. That's what it's called when you make your own D&D stuff. I want to, just for the people who, some of my people don't know a lot about D&D.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you might, in your own words, describe D&D.
It is fantasy imagination playtime with friends. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's make-believe, basically, is what it is. You make believe with friends, and there are rules and there are rule books, and they have, classes, which is like, classic wizard or your barbarian. Those are your bards and clerics, the things that people know. And, I've homebrewed up my own class, who focuses on spirits and souls of people who've come and gone. It's your, ancestors, which was a lot of fun. And I've done some little module writing, so making adventures for people to play through. Basically the storybooks of D&D. It's a lot like writing an open-ended adventure. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah. It's like... And then there's a lot of dice and numbers.
The math rocks.
And that determines how well you do.
Or not.
Or not do. At all.
It's just, you sit around with friends and you laugh. And it's a good time. Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about D&D?
I love it as a story-making medium. I like to think I can write, but
you definitely can.
I have no patience for actually typing words down as a book. Every time I try that, I'm like, yeah, chapter 4, and then I'm like, yep, nope, I'm not doing that anymore. So this is much more I find it as an easier way of telling stories. Part of that is I only have to tell half of it as a DM because my players pick up the other half. And the other part of that is because I have players, it's there's a constant social expectation that the next chapter does actually happen, as opposed to just my own internal motivation. And I guess the second best part about D&D is just hanging out with friends. It's an excuse to screw around indoors and hang out and laugh and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's so much better when you play with people that you actually really get along with, and I've been a part of a couple campaigns, and I think when you really mesh well with a group, I think it matters.
I think it's a great way to make friends. Some of the best friends I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
I either met them and then played D&D and we became better friends, or I met them through D&D. But I don't... there's some level of trust you have to have in the people you play D&D with, because, again, it's fantasy make-believe, and I wouldn't do that with people that I didn't trust not to make fun of me in that process, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're also, making, characters and worlds that, make you excited and passionate and mean a lot to you, and that's, almost kind of vulnerable sometimes, too, right? Because it's,
Yeah, and, I love... making worlds and telling stories. That's the thing I find the most enjoyable about it. So, sharing anything that you're creative and passionate about with other people is something you want to do, at least for the first time, with people that you know already will like it. So,
you have a very good podcasting voice. Did you know that?
I've been told I have a face for radio.
Oh no. That was my bed creaking. Everything's fine. We record in my bedroom.
This studio is
it's
top of the line.
It is, yes, absolutely. Not jank in the slightest. I think what you said earlier, I think we really become better friends through D&D.
You asked me to move in with you after we drunkenly watched all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and that was about all of the friendship experience we'd had. So... which was great because I love those movies. But it was definitely good that we, I was like, yeah, come join the game, and it will force us to hang out once a week for a few hours and goof off.
Yeah,
that definitely made deepened our friendship.
I think we just kind of clicked once, and that's what made me just really comfortable to ask you to be my roommate, because we were just so comfortable with each other.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean side, yeah. I think we were both drooling over the cast. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
a different problem.
Half of our relationship is just drooling over
attractive
actors in the movies we watch. Yeah. Typical relationship of a
college student,
young
people,
but also queer people.
Yeah.
It's
that's
typical relationship. So I feel like I want to talk more about, tell me more about the shaman class.
Okay.
Because, the class that Marcus was talking about, that he designed, again, class is like what you pick, like if you're a wizard or like a fighter or like a, like what kind you are versus your race, like if you're an elf or if you're a whatever, like this is a class that he came up with. And so I want to tell the people about what inspired you. What is it?
So I've had this floating around in my head for a long time. I think the D&D classes do the classic fantasy really well with, you have clerics who do, the multiple pantheon god thing, and you have druids who do nature well, and you have sorcerers and wizards who just do general magic, and bards who get their stuff from music or art. But I don't think the D&D classes interact well with the idea that your players will have had, dead grandparents, dead great-grandparents, family in the past. And so I wanted to make a class that, like, allowed you to... You got your magical powers basically from interacting with those passed-on ancestors, or, depending on the maybe future souls that have yet to actually live, or in one case, so there are subclasses which you get little slight differences in variations. So I made one that dealt with deceased souls, one that did with potential future ancestors of yours, and one that dealt with people who currently live in your life, and you draw on your magical powers from basically their life essence or for souls or whatever you want to call it. That's sort of the idea for the gist of the character or the class. And then we could get into the really weeds of the nerdy bits of like the differences between that class and like the way the other classes work. I wanted to make it sort of half. So, in
yes. So, explain it.
In D&D,
explain it to my parents.
In D&D, you have full casters who get there are 20 levels in D&D characters, and you, as a full caster, you get a new spell level every other level. So it's a full caster, and they go spell levels go all the way up to level 9. So they get a full caster, a wizard, a sorcerer, a cleric, or a druid, get access to all 9 levels of spells, at like level 20.
Just all your spells, just very spell people. That's what full caster is.
So
go. I'm gonna give the dumb answer.
Half casters, who are paladins and some others, you get only access to half the spell levels by the time you get all the way through that. And so for the shaman level class, I wanted to make something unique, which was like a 2/3 caster. So it's halfway between half casters and full casters, just as make it unique and give people a reason to play it more than anything. But it was just kind of a fun way to vibe with balance and creating something, and I don't know, just doing something different. It was fun. It was fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I thought that was like really, really. It's like, I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I don't know. Something that I have a hard time considering, obviously, since I don't know the rules as well as you do. Like, I have a hard time like considering like how this will interact with the rest of the rules of the game. Oh. So I think it's like be able to be creative because you know the rules so well to break them. I think that's super cool.
I think it's the people that actually make this stuff don't know like how it's going to work until it happens, and then a million people play it. So I think anyone can do this. Like, if you play D&D enough, you could go out and make your own subclass, or certainly your own race of magical creature. That's like easy. A class is just the next step up on that list. But I don't think it's particularly difficult to do. So it's just you like a lot of the stuff I did was just reflavoring other abilities that are in other classes and just mashing it all together in one sort of pile. Yeah, it was fun.
I think that's what like D&D can be though too. Yeah. It's just like, whatever it can be, whatever you want to make it, and you can make it within the confines of the rules of that particular tabletop RPG, TTRPG, tabletop role-playing game.
Wow.
That's what it's called.
We really got the acronym there.
Oh, I know the acronym. I know it. And there are other kinds of tabletop RPGs other than D&D, but we play D&D because it's the easier sort of rules. Or
it's D&D 5e is very beginner friendly, and also I bought all the things for it, and I'm too lazy to learn something else. So that's
5th edition 5e.
5th edition 5e. It came out in 2014. They released like a 5e
2024,
which is like 5.5 edition. Like,
and they really kind of didn't do many changes to it. Tell me what you think about the.
They wanted to get away from the idea that they're in D&D, like, races have different abilities, which is like an awkward thing to talk about in the modern world. Except in D&D, like, should a orc who's naturally 8 feet tall be stronger and more buff than a 3 foot tall gnome? Probably. Yeah. So it's less like, is that problematic, or does that just make sense? So they wanted to get away from that, and what they did is they moved some stats into backgrounds, which means everyone's now a farmer, because that is just by far the best background to have. So they haven't actually solved that problem. And then they made some rule changes just to, like, some very minor things. And the reason why I don't want to move over to 5e is mostly about that. It's because I don't want to have to learn tiny rule changes and then be confused as to which is the rule change and which was what's new and what's not and what's the same.
I agree.
I think I'm just lazy.
I don't think you are. I think you're a very modest individual.
Oh, well,
I think
you
sell yourself
I know
short
I'm amazing,
sometimes.
so it's great being better than everyone.
You oscillate. But we're the same in that way. We'll go, well, actually, I'm better than everyone,
yeah.
So.
Well, that's, because I am. But.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think their big motivation for coming out with a 2024 rule set was to collect an extra many millions of dollars off of people buying new books.
Yeah.
And the thing about D&D is, everything's online for free just by the nature of what it is. It's all just information, and you can do it all with the free stuff and a pencil. So it's like, I own the books and I already have all the information sitting in my head, and what I don't have lying around or in my head is on Google, and then I need a pencil. Yep. And it's like, I don't want to go buy another set of books. Like I said, I have like $400 worth of D&D books. I don't need another $400 out of D&D books. So.
And I think that's totally valid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so cool to think about, though, that, like, trying to, like, I don't know, monetize something that's essentially just your imagination and just a game that you can play with a pencil. Like, that's crazy.
The Hasbro, which is the company that owns D&D, is quite the company as far as monetizing things goes. And I think not that anyone who runs Hasbro or D&D is listening right now. I don't think.
Well, they could be.
Ooh. I would tell them that the things they should do if they want to make more money is look at the things that they're the ones that can do that you can't do with, like, a pencil, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Baldur's Gate 3 is a great example. And that was I'm playing it with friends, I'm playing it by myself, and it's fun. And that's not something I can do with a pencil, right? And I look at the D&D movie that came out, 2 years ago now? Mm-hmm. 2.5 years ago?
We went to go see that.
It was phenomenal. I loved it.
I didn't see it with you.
Whatever.
I saw it.
We've seen it together.
We've seen it at the same area, whatever.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast actually owns the rights to the world it's set in and all the creatures. You should just go make movies and TV shows set there. Like, that's something that I can't do as a person in my bedroom with a pencil. But you can as a multi-billion-dollar company. And go do that.
Also, Baldur's Gate 3, or Baldur's Gate in general, is that... It's
D&D video game.
It's a D&D video game on the computer that you can play, and it has all the same things.
Yes.
And, yeah. I mean, like, exactly. It's like you're... I mean, it's so hard to sell, like, imagination. Like, the ways you can use your imagination.
I think Hasbro looked at ChatGPT and went, yeah, that can replace, DMs and people running games, and we can just monetize that. And I'm like, Yeah, I can break ChatGPT with 3 questions, so I don't think that's true.
I mean, in the end, it's like D&D is another art form too, because
it's
like
storytelling.
It's
right?
storytelling, so it's like,
Yeah.
how good is an AI gonna be at storytelling than a human? It's gonna be, it's not gonna have the same heart. It's not gonna be able to connect to.
I also don't think an AI could answer the hard-hitting questions I get as a DM, like what is the weight of a dragon penis? And it's like, I wish it could, because then I wouldn't have to answer it.
And that happens so many times.
You'd think it would be like once in a while, or once very rarely, somebody would ask that question, but I swear it's like every 5 or 6 sessions that question needs to be answered.
Can we put it in the bag of holding?
Yes, sure. And then you do nothing with it ever again.
And a bag of holding is like this thing where you can like...
It's Hermione's handbag.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, that's so smart.
Yes.
That's such a good way of saying it. Yeah, there are so many
There's the pop culture reference.
Yeah. And I hope that what we're saying isn't like gibberish. I'm trying to
it totally is. I've had these conversations with people before, and they look at me like I'm speaking a different language.
It's not so hard once you actually like do it.
I think you could learn Dungeons and Dragons in like 2 hours of sitting around with some people that know what they're doing, and you could learn 80% of the game and have fun with it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really it's not complicated. Like, if you can do 5th grade math, you can play D&D. It's that hard.
I actually knew a 5th grader who played D&D, and who knew way more.
If you want to learn like times tables and math, this is the way I learned more about probability and statistics playing D&D and rolling dice than I did in any of the stats classes I ever took. So maybe it says a lot about my focus in school, but whatever.
Marcus is also very smart. Just saying. I think you're a very smart individual, and I think that you would just have a different, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place sometimes, and you're just a very grounded, like...
I am the world's oldest 24-year-old, though. I may as well be in my mid-40s. So I'm like, it's 9 p.m. I'm going to lie in bed and watch Netflix.
Yeah. But, like, it's a balance. It's a balance. I'm like, hey... come out here to do this crazy thing at this time, and then you're like, it's okay, don't worry about so many things. Like, and that's kind of how that is. Marcus you have a D&D themed, like, you have an Instagram.
I do, and I posted some things on there, and it's fun, but it's also like, I don't know how content creators like push out Instagram slop. I'm just not capable of doing that.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know how they do that. Like, I've tried, and but I ran through like the 10 ideas I had, and now I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, what would I say to this camera about D&D? It's like, I don't know. So
why do you think my podcast is just like, okay, I can do anything?
Yes.
Because
I know.
I'm like...
So, yeah. Yeah, and the things I put on my, like, the D&D Instagram page, which is Marcus Dungeon Master.
We could hold on.
I'm gonna go plug.
I have it. Look at on your phone, and then I'll plug it, and then I will put it. Yeah. I will put it in the description. Everything will be in the description. Please check out Marcus's things. He's very smart and cool, and he makes great things.
So my Instagram is Marcus the Dungeon Master. On Instagram, and you know,
You've got a lot of good stuff on there.
I got probably 10 like reels on there that they're mostly just vignette stories about what's come out of my D&D like games over the years, and they're just fun, quick minute long stories. Really, shout out to all my players that were the ones that did those things that I can talk about. So yeah. No, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, like, content creation is so weird and
it's
nebulous.
All over the place,
it's
right?
really, I mean, and there's oversaturation, and so you're like, is what I have to say even
relevant?
Yeah, or good enough,
new,
or yeah.
And I think that's, I want to put out more like homebrew D&D stuff, But it's like, oh, I'll go do that, and then I'm like, 5 seconds of Googling to like make sure I'm referencing something, and I'm like, oh, that's entirely been made by somebody already.
Well, I don't know. I feel like as long as they don't patent it, right? Like,
I know, but it's like,
but
if I'm gonna make something unique, I want to make something unique. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know what you mean.
um,
It's hard when something you're like, this already exists.
yeah,
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot in like
yeah.
my writing and stuff. If you guys saw the premiere of J&J, I don't know when this will come out, but Jude and Julia, my web series, is coming out. Well,
Now,
weekly, right now. It's out right now. Go watch it on Loser Creative YouTube. But Marcus helped us get the camera equipment.
I did. I knew some people who had camera equipment in my hometown. Shout out to them; they're great people. Yeah, I miss filming things. That was so much fun.
Dude, we should film something.
I know.
Do you want to film something together? We should absolutely do that. We did our final project in our film class together. That project was crazy. And then you edited it, and your edits were very good. I liked your edits.
Yeah, my zoom wipes on like circled close-ups of people's faces.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I'm sure you could teach me, but
that was like the world's laziest, Premiere Pro editing effect. Like, ooh, look at this effect in the effects menu. Crosswipe.
That's how I do yours.
Get the PowerPoint transitions in there.
Dude, I featured an actual, well, you'll see later when you watch, there's an actual PowerPoint.
Oh yeah.
Featured.
That was clever.
In the Thank you. I wanted it to look as shitty as possible.
I didn't think it was that shitty,
Thank you.
I've seen way worse things. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, what
were we talking about?
We were talking about D&D. We were talking about content.
Oh, filming something.
Yeah. Okay. Because
I'd love to write. Oh, that's the other thing I did for D&D is I did try and write a D&D TV.
Oh my God! Yes, you did, and I read a little bit of it.
And I'd love to film that, but also I'd love to have like $1 million budget to film that.
Yeah, the thing about I'm very like scrappy.
Yeah.
So I'll just like film and I'll just lean into the scrappiness. But I'd love to I don't know, maybe also just to take more time on the quality personally, because I focus so much on the writing and on the length and on challenging myself that way. I tend to not focus on the film quality.
You've talked about doing a feature film thing.
Oh yeah.
And I think that would be fun and great, but I also you should go film some 2-minute long ultra high quality detail short things with one actor. And
I mean, maybe the feature might just be something that I push myself to write and then eventually film it and then just keep fixing it over and over again. But I agree, I really enjoy doing the tongue-in-cheek sort of low budget stuff, but I also would really love to spend a lot of time on something getting all the shots just right and stuff like that, because that was super fun. We did that in our class.
Yeah, we oh my God, we spent so much time
talking
about lighting.
Was it a Donnie Darko scene we did? We shot.
I thought it was
I don't know. Maybe were you at the one that I was?
Which one?
There was
the
Donnie
one with the mask?
No, I did a Donnie Darko one.
Who's Donnie Darko?
Donnie Darko? Come on, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nope.
There was this one where there was a teacher. There was a classroom and there was a teacher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that wasn't Donnie Darko. That
wasn't Donnie Darko?
What's the famous 80s horror movie with the guy with the
The bunny?
No, the old
Oh my God,
mask.
wait, yes. It was oh my God. Not Scream, not was it Scream? No, not Scream. It was Jason? No, that's the guy's name. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. No, it's Hockey Mask.
Jason
Halloween?
Voorhees? No.
Halloween? No. Oh my God. I don't know what it is.
Friday the 13th?
It could be. Yeah, it looks like Friday the 13th. You know, if you know me, tell me what this is. Tell me if you know this movie that we're thinking of.
Look at us.
Yeah. Something else I really want to do is, like, do you see this, like, podcast setup? We're looking at this podcast setup right now. And there's ability to record video. I really think it would be really fun to, like, record video with it, too. Because you can also, like, do something where you,
it would be like,
zoom someone in.
What's his name?
Whose name?
Rogan.
Oh, Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
People have videos for their podcasts all the time.
Yeah.
Do you hate it?
I listen to podcasts. I
That's
don't
true.
watch
You don't
them,
watch them.
So.
I don't know. Could be fun. I'll think about it. You also used to stream.
Oh God.
I really liked when you streamed.
Okay, so this is the streaming, working on like D&D passion projects. The thing I really struggle with that is I'm bad at being unsuccessful. Like if nobody watches it, like I can't do that like phase of like nobody's like looking at it. like my Patreon page, I like put stuff up and it's like I get like 100 views and I'm like yes, and then like I don't think anyone like downloads or ever like gets anything from there, and I'm like and that just kills my motivation. And the same thing happened with like streaming. I was like streaming Minecraft and some other video games, and I was like yeah, this is fun, and it'd be like I get one viewer, and then I'm like,
and it would be me,
and I do that like 3 times, and I'm like yep, this isn't going anywhere, and I just like give up. I do think I give up like early and fast when it comes to like I need the attention for the motivation.
That's fair. I like know. Yeah, like I struggle with that a lot too. Like I don't know. I've talked about this a lot on the pod, like about on the pod. I'm so cool. On the pod.
The pod.
The pod. That's what this is, Marcus. We're on the pod.
Oh God.
Getting deep on the pod. I think I've also struggled with that because, like, as somebody who has been in theater for a long time, I have a lot of friends who are incredibly successful. And I know people on Broadway right now.
Oh my God.
And, like, it's, and people who are really successful content creators and stuff like that. And it's, like, it's really hard to, like, or, like, people who have, like, doubted me in the past. I mean, it's, like, really hard to not compare myself to those people and be like, what am I doing? I'm not having all these opportunities like these people are. I'm not, like making all these things like these people are. And I mean, I guess maybe I'm a bit more comfortable than you, just like making it and having it be bad. But like, I totally get that.
It's not even like I make things and I think they're bad. I think like half the things I've made are like actually of good quality. I think some of the things I've made are just dog shit, but that's a different problem. But like
I think they're great.
The things I've made that I'm like, wow, I actually did a good job on that, and then like nobody looks at, I find like really demoralizing, because it's like, I like making things for the sake of making them, but it's also nice when like it gets noticed by people. Yeah. Like I know that like I've heard people talk about this, like a big part of that first success is just dumb luck. It like almost nothing to do with like what you're doing. Like it'll just get like pushed into somebody's like feed or inbox or like somewhere, and it'll have nothing to do with that happened.
I went viral actually with one
like clip.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that clip where it was like on TikTok. It was like Lou Conrad, tranny faggot, and it was like, and everyone went, "That's what my mom calls me," and it was,
and then it's like,
and then it's gone.
And you're like, wow, that happened, and now
it's and it's just like, and sometimes like when you make something, you do want to share it with people, and you do want people to like it, engage with it, because it's like, you're like, this is so great.
Yeah, and it's not like like I know that like the group of people that I'm like care about me and I care about like are gonna see it and are gonna like enjoy it, or the people that I'm close to that also enjoy D&D are gonna like look at it and actually engage with it. It's like, how do I get those like beyond the 20 people that know what I'm doing?
I mean breaking that barrier is like, I'm there. I'm right there with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But that
could be the name of this podcast.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't. Whatever. I don't know. I could name it whatever you want, Marcus. I could name it whatever you want. We're just it's a chatting time. Oh, I'm so glad that you decided to chat.
No, it's
on
fun.
Here. Yeah,
I've been meaning to, and
it's easier than you thought it would be, right?
And I like talking about D&D as well, and like my creative projects. So it's fun.
Like, what is your process for when you're DMing?
Okay.
And like versus when you're a player, and like
those are two very
let's talk maybe we'll talk about DMing first.
Okay.
And like what that and how you started that and what's that
for my long running campaigns, which I'm a DM who tends to run long running campaigns. I really like the story part of Dungeons and Dragons. But before I've run any of my campaigns, I've spent 4 or 5 months working on the outline of what the plot, as it were, is going to be about. And I don't have like every minute planned from the beginning because that's absurd. But it's like, I know that when the players are like a third of the way through this campaign, I want them to have done X, Y, and Z and be here at this location for this thing. I think in the week or whatever going into a game, I spend as much time preparing the session as we actually end up playing it. So if we play like an hour, there's an hour of prep that goes into it, and that's anything from writing what the next beat will be and the clues to get players there, to balancing encounters, to coming up with stat blocks for monsters and other NPCs, and a lot of the prep is like location prep. So it's like I like to have the cities my players go to be somewhat unique every time, and it just makes the world feel more real and lived in. I mean, that's the other thing I really like as a DM is I like making my world feel real, as opposed to like, I mean, it's high fantasy, right? So there's dragons flying around everywhere, but it's like, like, this isn't just like a dumb, pointless city. It's like, there's like on a lake, and they have their like own culture and a king or whatever, or they're like, would be at like a trading place, and they're more lenient on crimes. There's more of that, and more like obscure, illegally traded goods through it.
Oh my god, I remember the illegally traded goods.
Yes, lots of that.
Oh my god, that was so fun. I'm not going to go on the tangent. It was so funny. Me and the other players.
You just get like stoned off the drugs.
We would like Marcus made D&D drugs for us. Like you made the existence of it, and you rolled a dice, and then it would determine the effect. What?
Yeah, you'd roll like a random effect, and it would be like, I turn into a potted plant.
It was so
like,
funny, and like you could like also die, and we didn't die, but we almost died many times. It's so fun. I loved that. That was great.
I mean, like that's a big part of like prepping for DMing as well, as like everyone I've played with loves the dumb parts of D&D as well as like the serious parts. So like I've made decks of mundane items, like because I think the deck of many things, getting on another tangent, is wildly too broken.
I love your opinions.
Like made a deck of like mundane things, and just in the last session when my players pulled the card, and it's like, you're immediately betrothed to the nearest prince or princess within like I don't know, a couple of miles, and it's like, and now it's like you write that on the card, and you're like, oh, that's funny, and then they pull it, and you're like, fuck. Well, now I have to like create a contrived reason for that, and like plan a royal wedding out of like, I don't know what I'm doing here, people. I just make shit up. It's like, or like you'll write like a line and like a clue for like a location. You're like, oh, they'll not go there, and then they go there, and you're like, well, that's not what I wanted you to do, and now I have to come up with like what's there. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's fine, guys.
It's a lot of them. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's always fine. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of like reading things that I've written in the past, or my players have handed me. And for the love of God, I hate when my players write 4,000 words and multiple pages of backstory. I'm like, just write me a summary. So
I gave you a really short one.
Oh, that was the best thing
I fear
ever.
it was too short.
No, it was wonderful.
It was
because it was like I've had people write me like narrative based backstories, and it's like I don't want to read a novel. But you're like, these are my parents. They're here, and I'm from here, and my friend, and this is why I'm traveling. And I'm like, yes,
it's a short,
yes.
it's a short description of
be,
just
like your character backstory should be like a resume. It should be like a page, and it should be like I did these things with these people. But
you have a Google form.
I do. It's the best.
Yeah,
best
it's what does it say in it?
So yeah, the Google form that I asked my players to fill out, it's like, it's basic things that you know about you as a person, but you probably don't stop and think about as like a D&D character. It's like, who are your parents? Because I played at plenty of tables where it's like, yeah, my parent. What are your parents up to? And the person's like,
do you have parents? Are they dead?
What are their names? Like basic things like that. Or like, I often ask my players, create one ally in your life or a mentor, and then I'll drop them in there, and I'm like, create one adversary, create like something bad that's happened to you, and then it's the last question is always, where's the campaign, the location that the campaign's starting. I'm like, why are you there? Why are you traveling? Just to get that thought flowing.
And it really helps you, I find, ground you in the space of like where you are and what you're doing, and like helps you put the mind in the character that you made, because I feel like sometimes, when you don't have that, you get really, at least I get really confused as to what I should be doing.
Yeah.
To fulfill my goal or what my goal
right.
is.
And I love taking what my players have written as backstory things and conflicts that they've had, and just being like, well, that'll be sessions 10 through 12 or whatever. We'll go back to that location, and you'll have learned a lot on your travels, and you'll be able to resolve that. Mm-hmm. And I think it lends to the investment of players and their characters into a story, and I think that's important.
Yeah, and it's really fun as a player when you get to see something that you made. Almost like a collaboration. It is a collaboration.
I think that's the thing about D&D storytelling, is
writing stories together.
Yeah.
No, it's so fun.
I think I tell people that the form I ask them to fill out is basically, can you fill out it like a Hinge profile? Because if you can do that, you can fill out the Google form. It's not complicated.
Yeah, it's helpful for you, but it's also helpful for you because you might not have thought about these things. And how old you are, and that's also what a character sheet is for, and that's where you write down all the stuff about your character.
I think a character sheet is very much like the mechanics of D&D versus and I think that's something that D&D does well, is it established what are the mechanics of your character. It doesn't. There are the third page of the character sheet is what are your motivations? And nobody ever fills that out.
No. Sometimes you do a little doodle, sometimes you draw. Yeah. But I don't. That's where you take notes. That's where you turn the sheet over.
Oh, I just don't print it out.
And then you...
As a player, I'm just I'm not wasting the ink on that.
I'm not making the paper. No, I like it. It's kind of fun. I don't know. But also, I've been in campaigns where... Okay, I have a question for you. Just a random thought here.
Sure.
How do you feel about alignments? Because I've always hated alignments. Now, alignments are, let me just define them. It's basically neutral good, chaotic evil, things like that. And it's like some people will want your character to be aligned with one of those things.
So
and
alignment is a 2D grid, and one of the axes is you're abiding to a lawful versus chaotic, so it's about how much you abide to a set of codes, or you just do whatever you want, versus the other axis is good versus evil, so it's just how morally good or evil you are as a person. And I think that's just fucking stupid.
I agree. I think it's so dumb because it leaves no room for growth or development, or if your character just wants to be, or change if you decide,
or just the fact that people aren't defined by a 2D grid of personality. That's not what a person is. I have good days where I'm a lawfully good person, and I have bad days where I'm a chaotic gremlin, right?
Yeah, and where I'm hee, I'm gonna...
there are scenarios where I'm very much this is my own set of codes, or this set of codes in society, and I'll follow it to a T. And then it's like it's parking, and it's like I don't give a shit.
You know, and also like we all do bad things sometimes.
Yeah, from time to time.
You know,
and we all do amazingly good things.
Yeah, and that's just. I mean, I just had things where I had a D&D incident. I've told Marcus all about my D&D incidents before being his player, but like I had one where they were like, "Oh, well, you have to be," and I was like, "No, like that's not how people or characters work. Like they have to be able to grow and change, right?"
I also, as like a DM, I don't want to like police the actions of what you choose to do and not do. I mean, I will if it's like you're crossing some sort of like line, but like those are things I don't even want to like talk about, right?
Yeah.
It's like but like if you're like, oh, I want to like, even if you're like, oh, I want to go like rob a bank, I'm like, okay, there'll be consequences to you doing that, but I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah, and also like you may or may not be successful at doing that,
like,
you know.
But like, sure, you can make that decision.
You can try.
And you know, I think people tend to police themselves into creating a personality for their character, where it's like, you know, they create like their own idea of what that character would do, and they tend not to like flip-flop all around all over the place, right? Like you tend to just create a character, and then you decide, oh, that's what that character will do. Now, I wouldn't use that as an excuse, because that's a whole minefield of Reddit threads. So,
but it's also like, I don't know, it's like, I mean, what's the worst they could do other than do that one video where they be every class, but then you can't.
Well, that's yeah. I wouldn't like. Yes, I will police my players from picking like multi-classing to everything, because that's just not fun.
Well, it also doesn't work.
Like I guess I'll police things at the table as a DM that's like you're making other people not have fun, or me not have fun, or I know in advance that you yourself will not have a good time with your
if you do this, like,
but
and that's helpful.
But if it's like I said, if you're like, my player wants to go like rob a bank, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to stop you. That's fine.
We've in campaigns we've thieved many times.
Like, sure, I'd go for that. Yeah, I think my like rules at my table are very much like, you have to have like a suspension of disbelief for like, you know, people are like, well, why would my character go on this? And it's like, your character just wants to go on this journey. Like, otherwise, we're just going to sit at home and like practice knitting. Right?
Yeah, and like, it's like you have to have a reason to be in the party.
You don't have to just go with it.
Just
right?
do it.
Just
like it doesn't matter.
I'm like, your characters have to be friends with the other players' characters at the table.
Can't.
Like,
well, you can't be trying to kill them, right?
Like, that's just dumb.
That's dumb.
Like, but really, other than that, I don't have like. No, not like your alignment means you can't do this. And it's like, no. I mean, if you're like a character with like a god who set out the guidelines for you, and you piss the god off, they might take the powers away from you. But
it's happened.
I think that's just like a fun story beat, because I'm not like going to be a dick about it. I'll work with you to figure out how to resolve that, or we'll find another god that likes what you're doing. It's not black and white.
It's not that deep.
No. And at the end of the day, D&D is just a hobby with a bunch of friends sitting around the table. So I don't get why you wouldn't just do whatever makes everyone have fun. So.
Yeah. I find you to be a very, like, flexible, but also very knowledgeable DM.
I think the biggest thing to being a DM is to want to do it. And to know how D&D works. Like, I wouldn't, like, I've met lots of people who are just getting into the hobby and are like, I want to DM right away, and I'm like, don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that.
Go play like 3 or 4 characters, learn lots of stuff about the game. You'll have a lot of fun while you're doing it, and then go DM. It's like, you know, there's a lot of, like the, how much does a troll penis weigh? Like, you don't just, like, you're sitting down at your table for the first time ever playing the game, and it's like, somebody asks you that.
You don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say, and I've done this like hundreds of times. Right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like, you know, somebody asks you a very simple question. It's like, I want to go explore, you know, that forest. It's like, well, you should know, like, the mechanics of what that is, like what a survival check is, like what all that stuff is. And I think the best way to learn that is by just, you know, playing like 10 to 15 sessions with 2 characters, 3 characters.
Or watching Critical Role.
Yeah, I do recommend people watch Critical Role Campaign 2. I loved it, but I'm crazy, so it's also like 500 hours long. So
yeah, I haven't. I need to get more into that.
We watched a good 20
episodes
together?
I would love to watch more. I keep,
it's hard.
Yeah.
They're so long.
It's so much, because a typical D&D session is like 3 hours.
Yeah, and they played longer than that. They played like 4 hours.
Yeah, because that's like because you really can't get a lot done in an hour. Like, just for context, like most sessions are 3 hours. Although we played 4 hours last time. I played with you.
I've played session lengths anywhere from 2 hours to 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it just depends on like what you're doing, because sometimes you can cram like tons of stuff into 2 hours, and then sometimes it's like in-game 20 minutes pass.
Yeah.
There's just like a lot going on.
Yeah, and that often is with like combat.
Yeah, combat's the slowest part of D&D, but it's also like why people play D&D.
It's one of the most fun, I think.
Yeah, you roll the math rocks and
then you beat the monster into the into the dust.
And they're definitely like I plan like story beats around combat as well. So it's like it's not just gratuitous violence for no reason. I mean, it is, but whatever.
It is, but whatever.
So.
Well, it's fun. It's like, and also like when you. It's also like a really special moment for when you're a player and like you kill the thing and you get to be like, how do you want to do this? And that's from
it's from
Critical Role, but it's still fun when you say it and you're like, ah, and then you can describe it, or when you describe it, it's also fun because sometimes it'll be like you cleave it in half with and its eyes are bleh,
Yeah,
it's so fun.
I think that's just my style of DMing. Every DM I've played with or watched or has their own like small variations on the style of DMing, and it's just like it's like writing style basically. It's just slightly different, and mine is more I describe things and ask less description from other people. I don't know why. It's just the way that works.
It's fun. I also like when you like all the different, because like when you're the DM, you create the world around the players, so you're playing everyone else. So you have a lot of really funny voices and characters that you do.
I have 3 voices.
I love them a lot. I think they're so silly, and I like when you do them. And
I think the hardest thing as a DM is when you end up in a situation where like your players have brought several important NPCs, like just random other characters together, and they're like, yeah, talk to each other, and I'm as a DM, I'm like, I don't want to just sit here and talk to myself.
like, talk to them, please. I don't want to do this.
The downside of that is like I've had players like write out like, oh, I have a mom, a dad, 2 sisters, and I'm like, great. Your dad will be the only one of those people that talks.
Everyone else
is
silent.
there, but doesn't say a word. No.
I also like when you play animals. I think those are really funny because sometimes you'll be like, meow.
Oh,
meow.
God.
I think it's
really
really
like
funny.
My players walk up and they're like, does the cat have all the answers to the lore? And I'm like, no, it's a cat. And they're like, I'm going to ask the cat a question. I'm like, meow.
And it's really funny because that'll happen. Or like a horse. Like I'll be like, I talk to the horse. Or like I try to do this to the horse and the horse goes, nay. Like
the sassiest horse.
The sassiest horse in the world, and it's my favorite thing. I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
I do that campaign, like being a part of that one, your current one, was super fun.
Yeah.
And like I loved like learning what a divination wizard is, where you can just change role.
I heard so many bad things about the divination wizard,
so much
and then you started
fun.
playing it, and I'm like, why do people complain about this? It's fine.
It's so much fun. It's like, so what you do is isn't it like you roll 2 d20s, right?
Yeah, and then you can change the rolls to like other people's rolls or your own to match those d20s.
And it could be any roll.
And it's
so fun.
I think people like some DMs don't like that the divination wizard is like can see into the future, and so you have to answer questions about like what's going to happen in the campaign. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do that. It's easy, guys. I think that's just lazy DMing. You just have to have it written out.
You just have to. I never really asked what happened in the future of that campaign, really. I mostly just used it to, like, change roles and stuff. I didn't know you could do that.
Maybe that's a high level. I don't know.
I don't know. I would totally play a divination wizard again. That was so much fun. I had a really good time, just like, because I could just be like they would be like, oh, he this person rolls and hits you, and I'd be like, he fails because I make him roll a 1 instead. And
I know, and I'm just like, come on, I want to have some. Like, I also want to hit things. It
was so fun because you never knew when it was going to happen, and I could just wait and just be like,
I could guess, right? Like,
well, you knew when I'd be like, when it was like when we were about to like die, or when it was like a total TPK means total party kill. I haven't been very good about talking about definitions in this.
Oh, it's fine.
It's fine. They'll
People
figure it out.
It's context clues.
It's fine. It's fine. You'll know what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I'm pretty sure that this is about an hour. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the pod. I really appreciate it.
I had fun. I'd love to be a guest again down the road.
You should.
Other random crap that I
absolutely. Let's do it. Hey, when we start filming together,
oh boy, yeah,
again, we'll do a pod about that.
Oh God.
or anything else. This is a nebulous place to do nebulous things.
It's very nebulous.
Yes,
it's a good word.
It's nebulous. And if you like, let me know if, like, I don't know, if you want to do anything on there. Like, what would you like to plug, Marcus?
Well, my Patreon is Marcus Rowland, the Dungeon Master. My Instagram's Marcus the Dungeon Master. Come check me out on those things. That's me.
And he's very interesting. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
that's the podcast. That's the gimmick, everyone. Thanks for coming.
It was fun.
Yeah, I had a really good time.
Longer than I thought it would be, but it's the end.